What's going on? Look at my shirt. I love it. Y'all need Jesus. All right. So I got a bunch of wood down here. Today I want to talk about my garden real quick, and I guess I'll also take this opportunity to talk about the cloud computing degree that I'm pursuing. It's a bachelor's in cloud computing at WGU. So I'm set to start May 1st. It's pretty soon, about 2 weeks or so. But I'm excited about it. I'm more confident now in starting that program, just because I've been reading a lot about cloud computing, VMware, and stuff like that. I'm not reading too much into it. I don't know why, but I want to kind of get caught by surprise. To be honest with you, I know it sounds strange, but I want to just learn the WGU way versus me learning, off of someone on YouTube. You know what I mean? But look, check it out. So, my wife is over there building the chicken coop. But this is the what is this called? Lemonade. Pink lemon tree. So it's growing out pretty nicely. So we're doing, let me see if I could zoom in there. There you go. So it's doing pretty well. I did my own wood mulch. I got me a little Sunjoe. Hey, let me show you this. So I had some crazy jungle grass back here, right? Check out the shoes. And I replaced it with tricolor clover. So it hasn't really grown in much because we cut it down a few times simply because we wanted to get rid of the grass. And now it has. These are some wildflower seeds that I've actually planted as well. It does look like an overgrown weed, but it's on purpose. I got some elderberry over there. I got some pre-potted stuff right here. I'm saving some boxes for later use. I have this motorcycle that was burnt up. We used to have a huge storage shed right here. And this bad boy was inside, but it burnt up, right? The whole thing went up in flames. You can see my tree is still burnt up. But what I decided to do is, instead of tossing this out, is leaving it as a gardenscape, a little sculpture, and creating a monument in a sense, in memory of my wife's uncle, because he was actually the owner of this bike. So I put a Boxcar Willie tomato plant in here, and looks like it's growing nicely. So I have different flowers going. So as you can see, they're mighty nice. Over there in that patch, I got some sunflower seeds that I planted. It's my little doggy, Truffles. So that's it for this side. This bad boy, it's a Care Red Navel Orange. I got a nice hookup on this one. One of my neighbors actually started his nursery. He just got his license, so yay for him. But let's travel over here. This is my pile of wood. I had knocked a pecan tree down. This is my Java ice cream banana plant. My citronella. I got I forgot what kind of lime tree. Key lime right there. My wife says this is a regular lime tree. Tag says key lime. This is my loquat tree. And earlier today, check that out. I discovered some exoskeletons. I didn't realize caterpillars actually did that. Where did it go? It was under one of these leaves. I guess it moved. But under one of these leaves, there was a ladybug and a caterpillar just hanging out. But it's gone right now. So let's move over here. Here's some garlic that my wife is growing. Oh, I got my rain barrel system. It's still a little wonky. I pulled it and I need to replace it. I pulled it and I ended up ripping it, but it's working. Well, it's too dark to see, but it's filled up about halfway. So we got about 110 gallons. I don't know how many gallons that has. And another maybe 30 gallons. So it's quite a bit. All right, so the growth of my plants. What I'm really happy with is that mint. That mint is growing prolifically. But also my potato plants. So these with the dark soil around, potato plants. So what I did, the dark soil is actually vermicompost. It's my worm castings. I started forming worms, some red wigglers, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I scattered some of that everywhere. And just literally overnight, like my stuff just sprouted up and shot up. I need to fix that tomato plant inside of the cage. But like literally this tomato plant was half the size last week. And now it doubled the size. Here is my compost bin. It's not really heating up the way that I would want it to. I have a lot of brown in there, but I'm incorporating some greens in there slowly, and that's where I harvest my greens from. But I have another plan, but it's still making some really, really nice, rich soil, as you can see. Like, this is super rich. This is just straight up. Yeah, you know what it smells like? It smells like fresh, wet dirt. And it's amazing because this area was all hay, grass clippings, banana peels, oranges, stuff like that. I got a pineapple actually tongue twisting, under there on the other side. But got my Cuban oregano. Look at this. So I put some sticks in, right? So the plant, the squash plant, could climb up it. But I'm really, really happy with this. I'm proud. There's a lot of really nice growth here. So let me try to get a shot. So if you can see that right there, so that's the kind of squash that I'm growing. I'm growing the patty pans. Beautiful squash, is really nice tasting. So yeah, so this, unfortunately, it was an experiment, yes, but it was more. I need to put another stick over there. It was done mostly, just so my wife and I could learn. And these are the dragon tongue beans. I'm trying to get one on camera. So we just wanted to learn. It was the first time that we had ever really done anything like this. Yeah, I mean, we've grown stuff in the past, but nothing from our garden beds, this prolific. There's my mint, my oregano. And for whatever reason, this garden bed didn't grow anything. All of our seeds just got overtaken by grass, and it just is so weird. I keep pulling them, but I don't understand why nothing really grew. The little seedlings that did grow, we pulled them and we replanted. God damn it! Replanted them, repotted them. There you go. So I'm gonna take some really nice pictures from this. And yeah, that's that. So the reason why I'm actually showing y'all this is because I'm going to start a composting. I'm gonna start composting mulch. So I'm getting some mulch, from the arborist, and I'm going to incorporate some of my worm castings in there. Which honestly, all of this is going to be an experiment. I know that creating compost, can be a little dangerous because it heats up to 160 degrees or higher. So we're going to keep turning everything over. But eventually what I want to do is I want to be able to create a premium super compost mix, and be able to sell some, give some away. All of this is really just to raise money to keep doing the homesteading. I really like giving back. Any vegetables and stuff like that I grow, I like to just give it away. Because I'm really interested, even though I'm growing my own food, and I'm really interested in just teaching people. Sorry, and just really learning the whole process. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're just going to convert this entire area and just do mulching. So what my wife and I have planned, go over here, set the phone down because the phone actually gets a little heavy. So what my wife and I have planned is to create this compost, and we're going to enrich it. She wants it to be 80% compost, 20% vermicompost from worm castings and stuff like that. Later on, we're going to introduce some of the rabbit manure and chicken manure, but that's going to be later on, maybe next year or so. But what I want to do to the compost to make it different is I want to basically enrich it. I think it's called soil amendments, so add some soil amendments, but basically bring more life to it. So the kind of soil amendments that I'm going to be adding are very everything's going to be 100% organic, 100% honestly handmade. So what these amendments are going to do is they're going to create a biodiversity of different organisms in the compost. So if I am successful at this, I haven't found a way to actually test it out, only under a microscope, but I want to find an actual science lab to tell me exactly the composition of the mulch and the bio life that's in there once it's ready. But if I'm successful, I'll have at least 70 different organisms living in the compost. So that's going to be like worms, that's going to be nematodes, that's going to be those are the two names that actually pop up right now. I don't know the other names. The other names are like scientific stuff, but it's about 7 different organisms that decompose the compost and actually live in the finished product. So once you add it to your soil, it'll be 100% organic, meaning that it's not going to harm your soil. You can grow all your stuff directly in the compost, 100% compost um, that we make. You're going to be able to grow in it, or just mix it up with some topsoil and basically enrich your soil. So I'm gonna be adding things like so I'm gonna have some like fish manure. I'm gonna have rabbit. I'm gonna have the worm castings also. Some, I don't know how to pronounce it, microcozial fungi in there. I'm also gonna inoculate it with I'm thinking about some wine cap mushrooms. So yeah, you'll have some. If you use the compost, you will have some mushrooms just spring up every now and then. But they're 100% edible. You'll be able to use it, and it'll help with the bioavailability in your garden as well. So actually, I'm really excited about it. I wrote down basically the recipe, or different recipes that I have, different ratios, applications. I'm gonna eventually create like a little manual to be able to use it, but it's compost. It's really not that difficult. But also with this compost, I'm gonna create an instant compost tea. So I was looking online, and I saw that when you make compost tea, you need an aerator of some sort, either like an air pump, like a fish pump, or you do it manually. So I want to be able to just create the same product but instantly. So there's a different things that I need to try out and make sure that it actually works. But once it does, the way that I want to sell it is, and maybe single use packages will be nice. So it'll be about 2 ounces. So 2 ounce packages, but also sell it, basically sell it by the ounce, sell it by the pound. Um, but basically you'll open up the small package, you'll dump it into a 5-gallon bucket, stir it up, leave it there. You could use it immediately, yes. So it's an instant compost tea. You can use it immediately, but it'll be better if you let it set out for at least minimum 24 hours and just stir it every hour. Introduce some more oxygen into it. So the more oxygen that you introduce to it, the better it will be. Let me go back to the other side, because my neighbor's dog just came out and they're gonna start barking like crazy. So, I'm gonna make some videos of the mulch that I'll be making. I'm gonna grab some of that mulch, like the first batch that I have ready, plus the vermicompost and everything, all the amendments, and make my compost tea, my instant compost tea, and just test it out, do various experiments. So we're gonna have we're basically gonna choose a tomato plant. Hey, do you remember the tomato plant? What it was called? It's like a rainbow something. Big rainbow tomato. I think that's what it is. So we have the seeds. So we're gonna plant them. We're gonna sow the seeds. One, we're gonna leave it as a constant, so we're not gonna change anything. And then the other 2 variables are going to be, one variable is going to be just your regular soil topped with our premium compost mix. And then the second one will be regular soil. And then it's going to be, every time we water it, we're going to water it with our instant compost tea. So basically, we're going to be able to see which method is effective or most effective. I really think that the compost tea is going to do really well, simply because the compost tea is going to have more nutrients and more bio availability than the compost itself. Because I think eventually I'm gonna because I have to make it simple. So I want to be able to just do the compost, and it'll be 80% compost, 20% vermicompost. So I don't want to add anything to it. But the compost tea will have all kinds of stuff. I may make like a super premium compost and inoculate it, and also give it a lot more nutrients. But I gotta play around with it, because I'm learning about agriculture. I'm learning about homesteading. I'm learning about just growing and be sustainable. Gardening. I'm learning all this. So this is learning as you go. Let's see what else. I think that's about it. So I'm really happy, and it's gonna go well. All right, and one more thing. I did create another shop, another Etsy shop for gardening stuff. So originally I wanted to sell the vermicompost, just the worm castings, which I might. I just started another 3 other bins, so I don't know how it's gonna go, but I pray that it's gonna go well. So I'll probably sell that, just in little bags, by the pound, by the ounce, just like the other ones. Let's see what else. Well, I really couldn't think of anything else, but here is bin. So I just fed these bad boys, right? Let me waken them up. So there you go. So there aren't many worms right now, because I just recently split them. But you see all those cocoons in there? I could barely record it. I could barely get on camera. But I don't want to disturb their food. I know they're eating right now. They're under that food. Put this back. So the vermicompost that's making right now, it's I originally started it with peat moss. I put some grit in there for them. What else did I put in there? I put some worm chow, some of my own worm chow mix that I made, and it's going good. I grabbed some of that, and that was the black soil that you saw over there by the potatoes. I also mixed it with the compost that I had over there. We're gonna pluck this out of my pot. The squirrels over here, they're always trying to plant their nuts. But yeah, so that's about it. I'm excited about everything. So that's the latest update that I have. If you have any questions, let me know.